Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're cracking open a story you probably think you know to reveal a hidden cosmic drama. Let's jump in.
So, you probably know this story, right? From the Gospel of Luke. There's this woman, she gets healed on the Sabbath. And usually, the takeaway is pretty straightforward. It's a simple, powerful story about Jesus showing compassion, pushing back against some really rigid religious rules. But what if that's not the whole story? What if the original text is pointing to something bigger, something way more dramatic? We're talking about a narrative where this healing isn't just about being kind. It's about a cosmic conflict, a divine reclamation of territory that's been held by an enemy. So today, we're going to be detectives. We're diving deep into the source material and treating this story like a puzzle. We're going to follow 4 key clues, and these clues, well, they unlock a hidden theological depth that totally transforms this familiar tale. It becomes this electrifying claim about the very nature of reality. Okay, so every good investigation starts with the basics, right? We've got to open the case file and see how this story is usually understood. Before we can find what's hidden, we need to get a handle on what's on the surface. So when most people read this, they focus on a few key things. The big argument between Jesus and the synagogue leader about Sabbath rules. Or they talk about the social angle, healing a woman who was probably an outcast. And, of course, there's the beautiful part about affirming her dignity as a person. And look, all of those things are absolutely true. But they're just the surface. And that's the key right there. Those interpretations, while good, they don't get down to the theological bedrock of the text. They're missing the huge, explosive, cosmic claim the story is really making about the world and who's in charge of it. All right, clue number 1. This one is all about how the text identifies the source of the woman's suffering. And right away, we see this isn't a medical diagnosis. Not at all. It's a spiritual one. See, the text is super specific. It doesn't just say she had a sickness or an injury. It says she had a spirit of infirmity. So boom, right from the get-go, the story is pointing the finger at a spiritual agent being the cause of her suffering for 18 long years. And if there was any doubt, Jesus just clears it all up. He doesn't say she's sick. He says she has been bound by Satan. And listen, this is not a metaphor. The text presents Satan as a real, active enemy with the power to trap people. The real antagonist here isn't a physical ailment. It's the cosmic adversary. So her physical posture, it becomes this incredibly powerful gut punch of a symbol. Think about it. She's bent double, literally can't look up. It's like a picture of humanity's condition, stuck under the adversary's thumb. But then, when she's healed, she stands up straight. She can look toward heaven. That's not just physical therapy. It's a restoration of what it means to be a human made in God's image. Okay, on to clue number 2. And this one is all about the vocabulary. It hangs on 2 really important words, binding and losing. And it turns out a big misunderstanding about what these words mean has kind of hidden the real point of the story for a long time. Here's the problem. People often read this phrase and think about how it was used way later in rabbinic literature, where it was about making legal decisions. But that's an anachronism. You have to go back to the original context in Second Temple Judaism. And back then, binding and loosing was straight up the language of spiritual warfare. It meant you had the authority to shut down demonic powers and set their prisoners free. So here's the bottom line. When Jesus looses this woman from the thing that Satan used to bind her, it's so much more than a healing. He's showing that he has the authority to dismantle Satan's power. It's like every time he does this, it's a battle won. It's like he's planting a flag in enemy territory, reclaiming it for the kingdom of God. All right, clue number 3. This one has to do with the woman's identity. Jesus gives her this title, and it's unique, incredibly powerful. He literally never uses it for anyone else in the entire Bible. So when something's that unique, you know you have to pay attention. He calls her a daughter of Abraham. Now, this is not just a nice, respectful thing to say, like, oh, you're one of us. No. This is a precise, theologically loaded claim. It's all about her identity and, maybe even more importantly, her rightful inheritance. By using that specific title, Jesus totally reframes the entire conflict. He's saying this woman is an heir to God's promises, which means Satan's affliction isn't just some sad personal tragedy, it's cosmic trespass. The enemy has illegally laid claim to God's property. And that makes her healing not just an act of mercy, but a covenantal obligation. It's about setting right a cosmic injustice. And all of this leads us right to our 4th and final clue, The timing. You see, the fact that this whole thing goes down on the Sabbath, that wasn't an accident. It wasn't just a convenient way to start a fight. It was the entire theological point of the showdown. So why the Sabbath? Well, you have to remember the Sabbath has this dual meaning baked right into Israel's history. On one hand, it's about remembering creation, God's perfect work being finished. On the other hand, it's about remembering liberation, God's rescue of his people from slavery in Egypt. So you've got perfection and freedom all wrapped up in one day.
So, you see where this is going, right? Jesus frees a daughter of the covenant from bondage on the exact day that celebrates being freed from bondage. He's not breaking the Sabbath, he's fulfilling it. He's showing everyone what the day is truly all about in the most powerful, dramatic way possible.
So let's put it all together. You take all 4 clues, identifying the real adversary, understanding the vocabulary of spiritual warfare, recognizing the woman's true identity, and seeing the significance of the timing, and suddenly the whole picture just snaps into sharp focus.
What we're looking at isn't just a nice healing story. It's a carefully crafted announcement of cosmic reconquest. She's not just an ill woman, she's a prisoner of war. The debate isn't about religious rules, it's a demonstration of divine authority. The healing isn't just for one person, it's about reclaiming what belongs to God. And the timing, it's not a violation, it's the whole point. So in the end, that simple physical act, a woman standing up straight after 18 years of being forced to look at the ground, it becomes a signpost, pointing to something so much bigger. Her healing is like a little sneak peek of the kingdom of God. It's a preview of the day when all of creation gets set right, when everything that is bent and broken will be made straight, and everything held captive will finally be set free from the adversary's claim, once and for all.
And this rereading, it really challenges us, doesn't it? It pushes us to look deeper, not just here, but in all the stories we read. It makes you wonder, right? What other huge cosmic truths are just hiding there in plain sight, waiting for us in the texts we were so sure we already understood?